Just another day in paradise. So blessed to live here in Australia. Guys, I just want to make this quick video on the new Nikon FTZII adapter. Now, obviously the reason why I got this is to pair up my f-mount lenses with my Nikon Z7. But specifically, there are two lenses that I really want to use with this on that camera. Find out what they are next. So straight away you can see that the design of the new FTZII adapter is much more streamlined than the first one. Now the first one gave a lot of people grief when it came to using certain L brackets as well as grips and certain tripod mounts. But this design has remedied all that, and today I'm going to give it a little test run. In my last video, I showed you my new Nikon Z 24-120 f4S lens. I called it my one and done lens, and it's awesome. But there are times in the year when I go to certain landscape photography locations where I need focal lengths beyond 120mm. Now, there's Z lenses like the 70-200 f2.8 and now the 100-400. Both are absolutely amazing, but both are very expensive. To buy both of these lenses together cost approximately $8,000 here in Australia. Yeah, that won't be happening. Firstly, I don't have that type of money floating around. And secondly, I kind of like to stay married because divorce would be much more costly. So for a few $100, that is the reason why I bought the FTZII adapter. For when I need that focal length beyond 120mm, I can use these lenses that I already own. This is my beloved 70-200 f2.8 VR2 lens, and this is my 80-400mm VR lens. Those of you who own these lenses would know how amazing they are, and both achieve very sharp images. I've used both these lenses for landscape and wildlife photography for years, and have always been very happy with the results I get from them. As an example of needing a focal length longer than 120mm, I'm here at one of my favourite sunset locations. This is Torbil in Queensland, Australia, and normally we get these really nice sunsets over the Glasshouse Mountains there. Now at the moment what I've done is I've set up the camera and I'm sitting at 120mm with this 80-400mm lens. You can see by the shot it's okay, but you're just that little tiny bit too far away. Watch what happens now when I zoom it into 400mm. So when I go to 400mm, that makes for much better framing. When it comes to B-roll with this particular camera via the FTZII adapter, if I switch that over onto slow-mo on the Z7, that'll give me a 1.5 crop. So that 400mm will then turn into 600mm. One of the reasons why I bought the Z7 was for the B-roll video element in my YouTube videos. Here's some shots using both these lenses via the FTZII adapter. I cannot think of a better example of what I was trying to tell you about using these telephotos for B-roll. And behind me, there are these swans just plodding along on the water there. Okay, so just as a quick test, I've got the Nikon 70-200 on the Z7 via the FTZ2 adapter. And for this test, I've actually got Christy. There she is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get Christy to walk towards the camera and I'm going to fire off a bunch of stills. This camera has the latest 3.40 firmware update in it. So, okay, Christy, I'll tell you when. Off you go. So I don't know if you could hear that on the audio, but it's not the greatest for buffer speed. If you want something better, you're probably going to have to look at a Z6 II or a Z7 II because it's got the dual processors. Out of those shots that I managed to get in the stills, every single shot was tack sharp on her eye. Having this FTZ2 adapter unfortunately does not solve the fact that you get audible focusing noise with your F-mount lenses in video. That's pretty much a given. Yep, still sounds like C3PO with a case of diarrhea. But if you're using off-camera mics like the Rode Wireless Go, then that issue is solved. So this is what it's like when you use a radio lapel mic with the FTZ Adapter 2 and you've got a telephoto lens. You don't have to really worry about any sort of lens noise from this distance. So the big question, do you upgrade from your first FTZ adapter to the FTZ Adapter 2? Well, realistically, the answer is simple. If your first adapter isn't giving you any sort of grief and you're getting good results with it, then keep it. But if it is getting in the way of things and it is getting a bit annoying, then yeah, sell it, trade it, grab the FTZ Adapter 2. Well, I for one am very happy that Nikon, or Nikon as you like to call it, have done this. The design works absolutely beautifully and my F-mount lenses work flawlessly on the Z7. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Never stop creating and I'll see you next time.